Really, Katt? For real? Seriously? Now we know he ain't got no sense, but he still got sense. Don't let that go over your head. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. If you ain't got nothing good to say, then don't say nothing at all, okay? You know damn well you better than that. At least I figured. I figured as much. As big as you are on intelligence and awareness, you know better than that right there, Katt. Cat Williams so used to saying the first thing on his mind out loud, like that's literally his signature right there. That's exactly what we expect from him. That's what makes him Cat Williams, right? Like he's praised, respected for all of that. That's what made that Shannon Sharp interview pop. That's what made that whole thing go viral. He wasn't holding back. It was Mr. Me versus the Illuminati. I'm fitting to tell y'all everything that's fitting to happen this year. It was a classic example, and folks sat back like, you know what, Cat, you right. Cat, that makes a lot of sense. And a lot of folks been kind of hanging on to his word ever since then and probably figured Cat can't do no wrong. But mind you now, that's still a black man. Like he still is human now. You understand? He a grown man who do know when he crossing the line. You understand? Um, I think some folk still are hung on his word. I ain't gonna lie. So when it comes to a situation like this, some folks probably don't really see nothing wrong with what he said, but Cat know. Anybody with common sense knows, listen, there's just some things you don't do. Ain't nobody exempt from understanding that. I don't care how funny the fool is, man. Ain't nobody that damn funny. You understand? Some folks I think really think that homie can't do no wrong. I'm actually surprised about this one because like aside from all of that, Cat is also known for usually showing respect for certain legends that paved the way. You know what I mean? Like he's big on that from what I've seen. I've seen him, show that respect. So when I seen this, it was just like, why? For what? Like what's the reason? Like what's the intention here? When I think about it, this ain't even the first time Cat took a shot at Martin. He took a shot at multiple people before, but this ain't the first time he took a shot at Martin. And again, it's like, why? Like, what's the reason? Especially the way that he chose to go about it. Shout out Martin, man. I'm like, on the real, I'm not like huge on celebs like that, but Martin is definitely a part of my childhood. Like, he one of the few comedians that I could actually laugh at growing up. I never really found too many of these comedians funny. It was a short few. Mark was one of them, right? So last year, there was a lot of concern from Martin based on rumors that were based on observations that the public had made. Rumors started circulating that he had a stroke. Folks is like, yo, Martin don't really look right. Something ain't right with Martin, man. Something is going on. But Martin, he wouldn't get detailed about it. He kept it short and sweet. He even poked fun at it. He was like, yo, folks think I had a stroke and all this. He even when he did his stand up, he kind of like made fun of it. He told folks he was good and all of that. You know what I mean? It's his personal business, so he didn't have to say nothing. But when you a celeb, you get tired of hearing certain things, so you probably gonna respond. Just give them a little spoonful just so they'll back the hell up. And that's what Martin did, and he left it as that. But the rumors were still circulating, and some people were just being nosy. Some people was really concerned because Martin is one of the goats. You know what I mean? People grew up watching that man, so folks wanted to really make sure and know that he was all right. We don't need nothing happening to one of our goats. You know what I'm saying? Like Martin was like, I'm healthy as hell. Y'all can stop the rumors. I'm fine. I'm in God's hands. I'm blessed. I'm glad to be waking up every day and everything. No need for people to be concerned. This is what he was saying, right? So of course it was good to hear that. It's like what more could you do? If the man is saying he's good, he's straight, you want to take his word for it and believe that that's the case. You saying, you know, it did the Bad Boys joint that came out last year, which I like that one better than the last one that came out. You understand? But off that. So Katt made like a remark about Martin's health, right? And it didn't really sit with people too well. You know, Katt, he the type of person, he's gonna say things for shock value sometimes, but folks didn't understand why he took a jab at Martin. At least that's how it came off. It was like a jab. It was unnecessary. He didn't need to say nothing at all about it. You understand? What he had said was Martin keeps saying he ain't have no stroke, but every time he has an interview, he looked like he had a stroke. That's what he said, right? And folks didn't really like that because how it came off was like, look at him, like he don't look right. What's wrong with him? Like, what the hell wrong with you? You know, it's like kind of like the kids being at the zoo when they pointing at the animals. When they like, Mommy, Daddy, what's wrong with the animal? Like, why they look so crazy? Why they doing that? You know, like it didn't really have like any. There was no type of like genuine feel from it. It's like he was just like jabbing at the man. Like nobody asked him to speak on it. It's like it just came out of nowhere. It was a left field thing. And folks did not understand that. Folks was like, yo, Katt, what is you doing? Like, why are not all people? That man ain't speak on you. That man ain't say nothing about you. Let's say he really did have a situation where he experienced that. It's like it seemed like you not too far from joking about it, if anything. Like, I know you can't be that insensitive, Katt. We know he can be insensitive. But it's like, why Martin? Out of all these comedians and celebs that folk would prefer you to get on and say anything about, it's like he was like picking at the man, like trying to pick a fight with the man, trying to get a situation out of it or something. Like, what was you getting out of even speaking on that man's health? Like that man don't first of all, he don't owe it to nobody to even speak on it. He don't owe it to you. He don't owe it to nobody at all. If we accepted it as fans and supporters, then you ain't no different. Everybody else left it alone. So why you felt like, you bringing this back up? Like, what's the purpose of that? Like, folks started getting on Katt ass. They was like, yo, Katt, leave that man out the bush. Like, that ain't, it's like, we like you. You funny and all that, but you didn't have to do that. You ain't got to go there, Katt. You doing too much now. You're definitely doing too much now. And that's not the first time Katt took a shot at Martin. I remember when he had spoke on black men wearing like dresses in Hollywood. One of the first movies he named was Big Mama. So he was taking shade at Martin right then and there. We all know Martin was, when it came to that, even though you don't see it today, you don't see black men wearing the dresses doing that stuff today. It's way more looked down on today than it was like back in the 90s. But there was only a few who could really pull it off. You understand? Like if they was going to do it, then you actually laughed. You understand? And Martin was one of them. You got Sinead, you got Big Mama's house or whatever. Now, Katt, like with him, it seemed like because he never did it, that he called out everyone else who did do it. And basically, I guess he feel like he better than all the other people who chose to wear the dress, right? And it's ironic because Martin just did an interview with the Breakfast Club, right? They brought him on there and they even asked him, like, what do you think about this? Or black men wearing dresses in Hollywood, it's looked down upon today. It's corny, it's whack. They shouldn't be doing it. It's embarrassing and all of that. And Martin was like, that's BS. He said, I'm a comedian and I'm not above playing a character and putting on the dress because I'm in tune with myself. Of course, he's referring to when he was doing it because you ain't seen him do it in years. Since what, Big Mama 3? That movie was horrible too. That movie was terrible. I mean, the first Big Mama had me, that was a classic. The first Big Mama's house, you know what I'm saying? But third one was terrible. But but off that. Now he was just saying, it depends on the person, I guess. He's like, I'm a comedian. I'm not above playing a character, putting on a dress, I'm in tune with myself. I'm in tune with my manhood. And he's saying that if you are too, then you shouldn't look at it that way. As long as ain't nobody getting up under your dress. Basically saying, if nobody ain't making you do it, making any special proposals or anything, if it's not under awkward circumstances and it's just you deciding to do it because that's what you chose to do, then what can people really say? There's nothing we could say about Martin when dresses at that time. That was years ago at that time. Everybody was rolling. So I feel like anybody that felt like, they could make fun of him for doing that at that time, most likely it's going to be a hypocrite because it's probably going to be somebody who was laughing. You can't grow up watching it, laughing at it, and then years later laugh at it like, Martin, why you wear that damn dress? But it'd be like, fool, we was watching me and you was laughing. I had your whole house rolling. What are you talking about? It's a little too late for that. I wouldn't feel right clowning him for that. But it seemed like Katt's gonna always hold that over people's heads. You understand? But it was like, what's his personal issue with Martin? Has it ever occurred that maybe Katt is just bitter against some of these other celebs? Like he's still successful. He still do his tours and stuff from what I see. You know what I mean? But it don't do it seem like, am I tripping? Is it possible that Katt could be a little bit bitter with some of these dudes? Of course, he say that a lot of them sold out or whatever. But when it came to Martin, he seemed like he was one of the ones who never sold out. You know what I mean? Now, I'd hate to think that, but it's like when you speaking on another man's business, especially another man's health, then it's like, what other reason could there be other than you have a dislike for him? Like you don't like him or something like that. Because it was uncalled for. It was. I'm sure some people probably would say that Katt might have meant, if you did have a stroke, just let us know. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to tell us and let us know or whatever. But even then, that'd be pushing on another man's business. If that man feel comfortable enough letting the world that that's something that happened, can another man force him to speak on that? You understand? And Katt is he's known for like targeting people and trying to like trash them for different things and stuff like that in certain situations. So it seemed like he was trying to open that door with the whole Martin situation. It's real simple though. It's just a matter of knowing when and when not to say certain things. Just felt like it was coming from an ignorant place, you know? Folks stopped what they was doing and it was like, wait a minute, Katt, hold up. Get them fools over there. Don't mess with Martin. Martin don't bother nobody. Martin don't do nothing to nobody. Whether he was Big Mama 2 times or 3 times, like Katt said, at the end of the day, folks ain't gonna look at Martin no different. So is it possible that maybe, just maybe, Katt could, like I say, maybe come down to him being bitter. Maybe he feels a way that another comedian, right, is even bigger than him that decided to go the route that he felt like he shouldn't have went, but is still loved and respected, maybe even more than him. There's something to think about. You never know. I'm just saying, when people try to go that route and it feels like it's a slight towards somebody, you just think about why would they say that? Why would they even try to open that door? That's all I'm saying. But also, that's another thing to talk about right there. Black men in health. That's something that probably don't get talked about enough. Black men do not like to be pitied at all. We prideful as hell no matter what we going through. I'm going to leave it like this, though. I'm sure Martin is not going to do it. He probably ain't paying Katt no mind. It's more so people who rock with Martin who was responding. But I would guarantee you that if Martin decided to poke fun at Katt and say something like, yo, Katt, you never really spoke on why that situation happened when them little boys jumped on your ass, man. What happened with that? Katt can dish it and he can take it, but I bet you he wouldn't like that. I'm just saying, you got to be careful what you say to people because you got to be prepared, You gotta be prepared for that get back. You gotta be prepared for what they gonna say back. You might think you hurting them by saying what you saying, then they say that one little thing that just break you all the way down. But folks don't think about that until it happens anyway, until they in a predicament. But shout out to Martin though. Nah, man. Hey yo, what up? Going on? What's good? Realest one, slide accordingly. Mr. Slide accordingly. Like, share, subscribe, support the platform, support a real one.